see it coming if not for the array of protections we have set up, via telescopes, satellites, and the like. Astronomy is a personal hobby of mine, as well as a scholastic hobby. I've been studying it for a long time now, and I've been to NASA a few times, once in one of their scholar programs. I hope to inform you of some of the dangers and preventatives we have in case something like this were ever to come along. Cataclysmic events have happened before and have reshaped the face of the Earth, and they're going to happen again. Our current technology is up there protecting us, and it wouldn't be there without the support of space exploration that started in the 60s. Most of us know what ended the dinosaurs. There's a very large crater in Chicxulub, Mexico, about 110 miles wide, that was the result of a 6-mile-wide asteroid that completely changed the climate. Anything that didn't die in the explosion itself soon died out after, from winters and crazy weather, things like that. More recently was the Tunguska events. Tunguska is a region in Russia. In 1908, a fireball exploded over the forest there, leveling some 80 million trees. A man was interviewed, he was an eyewitness, as Surendra Verma recounts this testimony and mystery of Tunguska fireball. At Vinara, a trading station about 70 kilometers from the explosion site, S.V. Semenov was sitting outside his house and was knocked off of his chair by violent shockwaves. Professor J.E. Lin and Michael Tauber did some math on the energy required to make that kind of destruction and got the rock to be about 50 to 100 meters wide. That's about the size of a football field. Caused that much devastation. Explosions like this actually happen once or twice a year, but they're usually not that large and not that low to the ground. Another big impact which has happened to the Earth is actually the popular theory of where the moon came from. During the Earth's formative years, something large smashed into it and knocked enough debris into space to form the moon. Evidence behind this is that moon rocks brought back from the Apollo missions have very similar chemical properties to rocks here on Earth. Solar flares are another common occurrence that many people don't know about, but they can be pretty devastating in themselves. They have a tendency to wreak havoc on electrical systems like power grids, things of that sort. And while there's no real way to prevent them, we can see them coming to some extent and prepare for any damages that may occur. We have several current ways of detecting these things. Most common one is our orbiting telescopes. Hubble's the most famous. It recently put out a picture that was very popular. It's called the Deep Field, which supposedly saw back to the beginning of time. WISE, the Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer, is our current asteroid hunter. It looks for objects in the infrared wavelength of light versus visible, where dim things tend to glow quite brightly. Cassini is a probe circling Saturn right now, and it has possibly discovered a planet, or a body, that can support life. Europa, one of its moons, has a liquid ocean underneath a frozen ocean with possible habitable conditions. Land-bound, we have the Very Large Array in New Mexico. This detects things emitting radio waves. Lots of big, nasty things emit radio waves, so it's good to see where those are. You'd recognize this structure from Independence Day if you've ever seen it. The Very Large Telescope in Chile is the busiest earthbound telescope we have. It was the first telescope to get us a picture of another planet orbiting another star, and that had never been done before until recently. And NASA's infrared telescope in Hawaii is also hunting for asteroids from the land. All of this current tech is aging, and without it being updated, it's soon going to become obsolete. And it's definitely lacking support in the home front. Barriers to NASA fixing, updating, and launching new technology to help protect us is being blocked by several things. The big one right now is evidenced by the government shutdown. 97% of NASA employees have been furloughed, leaving 3% to keep the astronauts in space alive and our satellites from crashing into the ground. There's a mission called MAVEN that actually was going to be shelved, but fortunately they got an exception from Congress. They're going to have to launch 3 or 4 years later from now than their scheduled time. So fortunately that worked out. And there's a whole lot of anti-science in Congress. You can see this evidenced by budgeting. NASA's budget is 0.5% of our national tax budget. Compare this to the military budget, it's sitting at 19%. So NASA gets less than half of a penny, while our military gets 20 cents to the dollar. The dangers and lack of resources that are threatening NASA right now is endangering our future. Bad things have happened before, and with our current technology aging and becoming obsolete, new things aren't going to get put up with the hostile reaction towards NASA right now. There is something big out there with Earth's name on